Hey there, Tarot Cuties. Welcome back to another reading with me, the Empress of Fortune. Today, we're going to be talking about your level up. This is going to be which skills will make you more successful. So what do you need to work on? What do you need to develop in order to find that next level of success in your life? It could literally be anything. I know we've got 3 different piles here. I have no idea what they're going to say, but the timestamps for each pile are going to be down in the description box below. I will include timestamps for both the identifiers and the actual reading for each pile. So if you don't want to do the identifiers, you can just skip over them to the part with the cards. I'm also going to list the decks in the description box as well. I'm super excited for this. I am definitely going to do this reading again, so this will not be my only level up reading, but I think it's going to be really fun. So something interesting about this reading is actually that I planned for it to be much more elaborate. I was going to have at least one more pile. I know there's only 3 right now. I was going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different types of decks, tarot and oracle, all inclusive. And as I was planning it out, I just got this feeling, and I was like asking Spirit to help me with like the order of, you know, which decks to use and like the sequence of which to pull them. And I ended up only keeping 5 different types of decks. So there are 3 tarot decks here. I count that as 1 because tarot is just like, you know, its own thing, but there are 4 other oracle decks instead of like the full 11 that I was going to use. So that to me is just a message for everybody that less is more. And sometimes you need to narrow down your focus, especially when you are on a level up journey. You might want to narrow down your focus and work on just a couple of things at a time, one thing at a time if necessary. But it also makes me think about the 80-20 rule. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but they say that 20% of the issues in your life or the tasks that you need to do can actually make an impact on all the rest of the things that you have to do. So the other 80%. So in all of the work that you have, try and find that 20% that's going to be the most impactful rather than focusing on the 80%, which may seem like it's bigger, but maybe actually isn't. So for example, if you have like a freelance business and you've got a lot of small clients and then you've got a couple of bigger fish clients, let's say you've got 10 clients total, and 8 of those are smaller accounts that are very consistent, but then 2 of those are bigger accounts where they actually give you the bulk of your money. You should spend more of your time on those 2 accounts that will bring you the bulk of your money, and then allocate the time as necessary to those 8 smaller accounts. So finding the small things that can make the biggest impact, I think, is where this reading is going to go. And I'm excited to see what comes through. Pile 1 here, we've got the Law of Attraction Tarot. Pile 2, we have the Final Rose Tarot. And pile 3, we have the Sun and Moon Tarot. So use your intuition to make your choice. You may have messages in more than one pile. So I will give you the opportunity to pause the video now if you need more time. And I will see you at your reading. See you soon. What's up, pile 1? Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the identifiers portion of your reading. So we're going to go ahead and get our lip bowl. I'm going to put these cards over to the side for now. If you want to skip this part of the reading, you can always go to the description box and there will be a label that says pile 1 reading, and if you click that timestamp, then it will take you to the part with the cards. But for those of you who like the identifiers, let's go ahead and get into it. We're talking about our level up journey today. What skills will make you more successful? Spirit, the people who chose the Law of Attraction Tarot for pile 1, who are they? Who are my pile 1 people who chose Law of Attraction Tarot? Spirit, give us identifiers for pile 1. Who's in pile 1? Who are my pile 1 people? Law of Attraction Tarot, pile 1. While I'm doing this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to smash the like button as well, that thumbs up. It really helps out my video. Is there anybody else in pile 1, Spirit? Pile 1. Anybody else in pile 1? All right, what about this one? Okay. Alrighty then. Let's see who we've got here in pile 1. We have Splinter by Spill Tab. That's a song. You may know it. So the way that these work is, if you've never seen my videos before, I wrote these down on these little slips, and if any of them have been significant in your life somehow in the past, or if they've shown up recently in your life, even just in passing over the past few days, then that means that this is your pile. So for example, like if one of these songs is like your favorite song, or if you heard it recently or something like that. The Joker by Steve Miller Band, that's another song. That song is like kind of older. I want to say it's from like the 60s or the 70s. Doug, the TV show, that's like a vintage Nickelodeon TV show about a guy named Doug Funny and all his friends. Half and Half. I was just thinking about that show earlier today. That is a TV show about two half sisters who live in San Francisco and live in the same apartment building, and they share a dad. All About Love by Bell Hooks. That is a book. It's like a sociological study of love. We Used to Be Friends by the Dandy Warhols. That's a song. It's also the theme song to Veronica Mars, the TV show with Kristen Bell, where she plays like a teen private investigator. Meditation. So maybe you like to meditate a lot. Maybe you recently started a meditation practice, or somebody like was talking to you about meditation today or something. Philadelphia, Philly in the house, let's go. And it just made me think of Abbott Elementary, because that show is set in Philadelphia, so I don't know why I thought about that. But Return of the Mac by Mark Morrison, that's a song. Return of the Mac once again. Baby girl Lisa. She is a person who was on 90 Day Fiance with her husband Usman, who's like a Nigerian musician. It was like a May-December relationship. She was much, much older than him. Girlfriends, that's a TV show starring Tracy Ellis Ross. It is about her and like her three best friends living in LA in like their late 20s, early 30s. Signs by Snoop Dogg, Justin Timberlake, and Charlie Wilson. That's a song. Ukraine, the country. What's this one? Poppy seed bagel. Maybe that's like your favorite type of bagel, or you might have eaten one recently or seen somebody eat one recently or something. Sookie Stackhouse. She is the main character from True Blood, the TV show, and the novels that is based off of. The Southern Vampire Mysteries by Charlaine Harris. Drew Barrymore by SZA. That's a song. Is it warm enough for you outside, baby? Lemongrass. That is like a scent and also a flavor. I think it's pretty often used in like Vietnamese or Thai food. Energy by Drake. That's a song. I got enemies, got a lot of enemies, got a lot of people trying to drain me of my energy. The Boondocks, that's a TV show. Animated TV show, Riley and Huey. If you know, you know. This Lullaby by Sarah Dessen. That's a book. We've got The Gift. That's an album by Beyonce. That was the album that came out like in conjunction with the live action Lion King. That album is so good. It has a lot of features on there. Not every single track is by Beyonce, but most of them are. Sweet Love by Anita Baker. That's a song. Death Cab for Cutie is a band. So that might be like your favorite band. You might have heard a song by them recently, or like seen them in concert or something. Car Trouble. Hopefully nobody's having car trouble, but if you are, or you like recently had to pay a lot of money for your car or something. Legally Blonde. That movie starring Reese Witherspoon as Elle Woods. Iconic. Satsuma. That's like a citrus fruit. Waterbenders. So that's from Avatar: The Last Airbender. water bending. Brushing teeth. Maybe you just like brush your teeth just a second ago or something. Or you've been thinking a lot about brushing your teeth. Strobe Light by Little Dragon. That's a song. Throat chakra. So maybe you've been having like a sore throat recently, or you might have been like speaking up a lot more than you normally do. You might use your voice a lot in your work, like if you're a singer or a teacher or like a public speaker or something like that. 4th of July, that's the US Independence Day. This could also just be like Independence Day. If your country has one, it doesn't have to be the 4th of July actual date, but just Independence Day in your country. And now I'm also thinking about that Will Smith movie, Independence Day. Anne Hathaway, actress. So maybe you really like her, or you might have just seen something she was in recently. Sewing kit. Maybe you had to like mend some clothes, or you just bought a sewing kit, or you might just really like to sew, something like that. Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden. That's a song. Romance novel. You could really enjoy reading romance novels. Maybe you're a writer of romance novels. You might have just read one recently, or like your favorite book could be a romance novel. We've got ruffles. That could be like the chips or the fabric. And we did just have sewing kits, so like sewing ruffles on something, possibly. Pink velvet. Interesting. So fabric, like sewing is coming through here. And then also Anne Hathaway was like very famously in The Devil Wears Prada, which is like a movie about fashion. Right, so interesting. The number 18, that could also be the number 81. So either of those could be significant to you, maybe like a lucky number. We have the number 4, same thing, but that also could be like the month of April, which would be Aries and Taurus. Cheers, Drink to That by Rihanna. Yeah. And now I'm thinking about that song that was sampled, or like which sampled Cheers, Drink to That song by Avril Lavigne, I'm With You. Lose My Breath by Destiny's Child. Okay, Beyonce action in here. We got The Gift and we got Lose My Breath, Destiny's Child. Destiny's Child, famously a member of Beyonce, famously a member of Destiny's Child. Justin Timberlake now also showed up twice here in Signs, and then also just by himself. So you might be like a big fan of his, or you might have seen him in something recently, because he's also an actor, or you might have heard some of his songs recently. 93 Till Infinity by Souls of Mischief, that's a song. Casino by Houndmouth is also a song. Substack is like a website that people can subscribe to people's writings. So if you like write articles or whatever, you can get people to subscribe to your work on Substack. Jamaica. And then last but not least, we have Gabrielle Union, actress. Okay guys, these are our identifiers for pile 1. I'm going to go ahead and write these in my tarot journal, and then we'll get right into the reading. All right, pile 1. Let's go ahead and get into this reading. So I am actually going to save the tarot cards for a little bit later. We're going to start off here in this level up reading, what skills will make you more successful, with some cards from this little deck called Because I Love Myself. And I don't know why we're doing these cards first. I just felt like we needed to. I guess that will become clear. Maybe it's because in order to be your most successful, you have to make sure you love yourself. And these messages might help give us some direction for this reading. So Spirit, my pile 1 people who chose this Law of Attraction Tarot, what messages do you have for them from this deck? Because I Love Myself. What messages do you have for them? All right, let's shuffle one more time. Yes, all right, let's go. There we go, right there. Loving companions. I make loving choices about who I spend my time with. I lovingly release the harmful people within my life. I create space and time to share with people who actively love me. Nice. And then we have cherish the challenge. I'm grateful for every challenging lesson I received this lifetime. I appreciate my courage and valor. I am my own hero and I value all I stand for. All right, so the first thing that this makes me think of in terms of the skills that you need to make you more successful is networking. For some of you guys, networking or making new friends could be challenging, but if you remember the things that you have that are of value, with the parts of your personality, the traits that you have, that other people would also see value in, then it could be easier and you can play those things up. When it says here, I am my own hero and I value all that I stand for, that's really about making sure that you have high self-esteem and that you remember what it is that you do stand for. You know, they have that saying, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, right? So you want to make sure that you're connecting with people who have the same kinds of values that you have. And that's part of what the loving companions is talking about. The word loving companions is people who love you for you, and in order for somebody to love you for you, you have to know what your own values are, and that way they can appreciate you for upholding those values that you have and that you say that you have. I'm going to go ahead and put these cards to the side, these because I love myself cards, and let's get into the tarot now. All right, Spirit, pile 1's level up. What skills will make pile 1 more successful? What do they need to do to level up? And maybe tell me a little bit about where they are now, the people who chose pile 1 with this Law of Attraction Tarot, and how they can level up in their lives. Thank you. All right, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it. All right, let's go. My arm just kind of started hurting for some reason. I don't know what that's about. It's like specifically my shoulder. So some of you guys might be suffering some sort of like bodily injury or some sort of body pain. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Wands. So this is about indecisiveness at the end of the day. At the top, we have the Ten of Pentacles here in reverse. So that to me could be about your career, about instability within your career. With it being fortune cookies here, this also makes me think about bad luck. We have the Page of Cups. So either not knowing how to apologize, possibly owing somebody an apology, or this could just be, I don't want to say being unapologetic. I know, like, if you didn't watch the Identifiers, Rihanna, Cheers to That came out, and Rihanna has this whole thing about like being unapologetic, but for some reason I'm getting like a negative connotation to this card. Yeah, so unapologetic to me has a positive connotation typically, like you are just, you know, unapologetically yourself, you are who you are, and it doesn't really matter what other people think about it. But in this case, I feel like there's some negativity associated with this card, and so I'm not getting that unapologetic vibe. All right, so we do have the Four of Cups here. Boredom, boring, possibly, and I don't want to call you boring. I don't want to say that you're boring. But when it comes to networking and stuff like that, you have to make sure you have something to talk about, okay? And I think that that's what I'm getting here with this Page of Cups in reverse. It's like this guy in this picture is going to somebody's door with some roses, right? And he's here to offer the roses. He's here to ask her out on a date or him out on a date, whoever. And, you know, in the reverse, I get this like almost fear of like, you know, what if I don't have anything to say? What if they don't like me? Or like, I am, you know, just not who they want to be around. Like, it's like this feeling of like quitting before you've even given it a shot. Okay. You may have that kind of tendency when it comes to like your work or your friends, or just, you know, your life in general. And if you don't have anything interesting to talk about, then yeah, people are probably not going to want to invest in you. And so while you may have like known some people in your life for a really long time, or you might have like stable roots somewhere, I think that this Two of Wands card is talking about making a decision to pursue something either new or like more interesting, or like travel more maybe a little bit. Speaking of traveling, some of you guys may have interest in going to like Greece or China or something. I just got this, like, the pain in my arm just like randomly is coming back. It's in the shoulder area, and it almost made me think of when I just got it just now of like waving goodbye to somebody or something. And so you might need like some travel stories or something. That just might be helpful. If you already have travel stories, it might be like a good topic to bring up, like when you meet new people or something like that. You might be looking for actual travel companions. But yeah, I get this idea of you need to say goodbye to something or to a certain place or to a certain group of people possibly. You might need to branch out especially if you are like very much like a hometown homebody and you spend a lot of time in your same hometown, then this is a sign that branching out could be really good for you. Okay. Yeah, I'm intrigued. The Four of Cups here, that card, I don't want to say that it's like mean. In this particular context, it's not really mean. I just kind of feel like that card is like a mean card in general. And it's like, to call somebody boring is such a rude thing, but like you could be very much like stuck in a rut. You could be stuck in a routine. You could, have all these things that you want, but it kind of just like feels like you don't know what to do with them. And even if somebody came and offered you like a great opportunity, you might not take it because you're just kind of like, well, things are how they always have been and how they always will be. So like, what's the point? And I don't think that that's really true in life. And in order for you to level up to your next space, you need to kind of get out of that mindset and realize that there's more out there than what you have been currently experiencing. And you need to like widen your worldview. Okay, whether that means like in terms of politics or actual like getting out there in the world and seeing different places, or just meeting new people and talking to new people, which goes along with the networking piece. It really sucks if you don't feel like you have anything worthwhile to say or anything to say at all. Okay. And now I'm thinking randomly about like writing college essays. Like when you write an essay to try and get into like a program or whatever, and of course, college is not for everybody, but, and a lot of people like take a gap year and stuff like that. But if you write an essay to like get into a program, they want to see your like uniqueness and your unique perspective coming out. And in this case here, it almost feels like you think that you don't have one, but like you do have one. You just maybe haven't found it yet. Okay. I think there's just like a very generic feeling about this card and just these cards in general, but you're not generic. You are your own unique person. And I think that if you are able to exercise that out in the world, then you'll attract the right types of loving companions to you, which goes here with like, I am my own hero. I value all I stand for. I appreciate my courage and my valor. And I think maybe you haven't had a lot of opportunities to exercise your courage and your valor, and you want to, or if you have, they have been on like a small scale. And I think that you need to take it on a bigger scale so you can come home with some fun stories to talk to people about. Yeah. So I'm going to read Cherish the Challenge again. I am grateful for every challenging lesson I receive in this lifetime. I appreciate my courage and valor. I am my own hero, and I value all I stand for. You may not be totally sure about what it is that you stand for, like what emotionally means, what emotionally means something to you. You might do things just because you think that they're, what you should do, but you might not have like any true emotional attachment to them. It kind of makes me think of like if you were to go to like a protest, for example, and you were only going because, everybody else that you knew was going, but you didn't actually like know anything about the issue, and you didn't really care that much about the issue because you didn't know anything about it, but you were just going, not like to get your pictures, but just because it was like the thing to do, I don't even think it matters to you like what other people perceive about you when it comes to stuff like that. Like, it's not like you're going there to like be seen so that people think that you are in the know. It's just more of like, everybody else is doing it, so I guess I'll go. Right? You deserve to be more than just like a body in the space. You deserve to have your own opinions and perspectives and like the things that you really care about, you deserve to be able to go after them. But if you're having a hard time trying to figure out what it is that you care about, then I think that that's where the exploration needs to come in, okay? Some of you guys may go to like Thailand or something like that. I just got that. Maybe somewhere just in Southeast Asia in general. Random. But definitely I'm getting some travel for this group. That could be like your next level up would be going to travel, so you could come back with some great traveling stories, okay? And yeah, it could be challenging. You know, any type of level up in general is going to be challenging. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But for you in particular, I feel that, you know, you could be getting stories that will last you a lifetime if you decide to do this, right? Like, I'm grateful for every challenging lesson I receive in this lifetime. And so if you think about when you're old and being able to tell, you know, stories from when you were young, or have pictures of, you know, all the places that you traveled when you were younger, I think that you'll feel a lot more comfortable and like you have more stuff to say when you talk to people. And, you know, when you travel, you get to meet all kinds of new people, especially if you like you're open to it and you're, you know, staying in places where other people are also open to meeting people. And you can expand your network and create a worldwide network. It goes a lot farther beyond just like your town or your school or your workplace or whatever. You could have, or social media, you could have a network of real connections all over the world. And I think that that would be a great level up for you. All right, so let's go to the next piece. We're gonna get these archetype cards here. And this will give us some information about what skills will make you more successful in your level up journey. Spirit, for pile 1, what do they need to do to level up? What skills are going to make them more successful in their level up journey? The people who chose the Law of Attraction Tarot. Awesome. Okay. Okay, let's go. All right, we got here, bitch. Did you guys fucking see that? I'm sorry to curse. Did you guys see that? Did you see that? That was crazy. I love it when shit like that happens. It just is like so validating. It really is. It's like, yes. Ugh, best reader alive. I love that. And I was like debating on whether or not I should live shuffle this video, and I'm so glad that I did, because otherwise we wouldn't have had that amazing moment. So yeah, networker. That's it. That's what it is. All right, light attributes enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. The shadow attributes are conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood. And look, it's like globe-trotting. She's like running across the world, but she's also distributing all these letters and stuff, which does make me think of like campaigns and campaigning. And we did kind of like mildly touch on the whole political thing, which, thinking now about this card here and it looking like it's like Greek columns, Greece is where democracy was supposedly invented, right? So that does make me think about like having political opinions about certain things. You may not be a particularly opinionated person right now. If you are, then you may just like need to do more research or get more information or go visit the places that are directly affected by the issues that you care about. But this definitely is like the type of skill that would benefit you a lot just in your journey, whether this is just in life or like in your particular work or whatever. But I feel like it's just in life, you know. Networking can get you to a lot of places. They always say it's not what you know, but it's who you know. And you could be the type of person who knows a lot of people and always has something fun to talk about with them. Yeah. All right, let's see what's next. We're gonna get these money and the law of attraction cards from Esther and Jerry Hicks. And let's see what they have to say. These are gonna be like advice, I guess, kind of. Spirit, what is the guidance for pile 1, the people who chose the Law of Attraction Tarot? What's the guidance for them in terms of their level up journey and what skills will make them successful? Here we go. We got this card. It says, my life is as good as I allow it to be. Many people focus upon unwanted things with no deliberate attention to the emotional guidance within them. That's exactly what this card is. This Four of Cups. Not only Four of Cups, which I didn't even mean to say, but the Page of Cups. No attention. Let me start that over. Many people focus upon unwanted things with no deliberate attention to the emotional guidance within them, and then they try to compensate for their lackful thinking with physical action. That's literally exactly this Page of Cups. It's like this person decided to go to this other person's house on a date, not even like really sure if they like this person. They're just doing it just to do it. Not sure if they're going to have anything to say on the date. They're like, let me just get there and see what happens. And it's like, you could have planned it out better, you know? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to read this again. I don't know why I keep wanting to read it from the beginning. Anyway. Many people focus upon unwanted things with no deliberate attention to the emotional guidance within them. And then they try to compensate for their lackful thinking with physical action. And because of the misalignment of energy, they do not get results from their action, so then they try harder by offering more action, but still things do not improve. Like the air you breathe, abundance in all things is available to you. Your life will simply be as good as you allow it to be. So you have to be deliberately attentive to the emotional guidance within you. And your emotions may guide you on a very different place or a very different path than what you normally would do. But if you don't follow them, you're going to end up just like sitting around being bored, thinking about all the like woulda, shoulda, couldas of life. And you're going to end up in the same place forever. And there's always going to be like this opportunity that's just waiting for you to take it, or this like emotional understanding that's waiting for you to grasp it. Okay. And I think that you just need to like get with the program. I don't even know exactly what that means, but get with the program. All right. Last cards here are our healing angel cards. Let's go ahead and get these bad boys. More little tiny guys. Move this over here. I don't want there to be like a glare on the camera. Sorry, guys. Spirit, what are the healing angel card messages for pile 1, the people who chose the Law of Attraction Tarot, in this reading of what skills will make you more successful? What messages do you have for them? Pile 1. Sorry, that was bothering me. All right. Let's shuffle this like this. Oh, there we go. First one. The unknown. There we go. Do not fear the unknown. This is a time of deep exploration and transformation. Unfamiliar territory leads to new horizons. So yeah, if you've been feeling called to travel lately, I definitely encourage you to like find out what you can do to make it happen. You know, travel, there could be like financial roadblocks. There could be just like courage and anxiety roadblocks, especially if you're thinking about traveling by yourself. But at the end of the day, like you have a decision to make here with this Two of Wands in reverse. That's like you being at a crossroad and like you kind of being forced to make a decision. Some of you guys might be on some sort of like time deadline. In terms of, you know, you might only have a certain amount of time to travel or whatever. So if you can make it work, then make it work. Go into the unknown. Don't be scared. Any other messages here for pile 1? All right, we just got clarity. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe in the blue of the sky. Feel a gentle breeze flow through you. There's peace. There's clarity. A magical healing has just taken place. A gift from your guardian angel. That made me think about meditating. So meditation could be helpful to some of you guys. But also I think that if you are able to learn how to network or do some traveling or, you know, get some good stories under your belt, it will give you more clarity about what you want to do with your life and with your time, rather than just like sitting around like a bump on a log. Archangel Sandalphon. I've heard your call for help. Your prayer will soon be answered. So if some of you guys are worried about how you might be able to do this, then meditate on it. Ask your guides, angels, and benevolent ancestors for help in order to get to the place that you want to go, and they will help you. Any others? Okay. So in the spirit of less is more, which is, if you listened to the intro, kind of like a little lesson that I got as I was preparing to do this reading, I'm actually going to leave the reading here. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me. You may also have messages in other piles if you want to go check out the other piles. But overall, pile 1, I am so excited. I hope that you come back here in the comments and you tell me what it is that you did, what kind of stories that you gathered, what kind of experiences you put under your belt, and if you met any cool people while you were out and about. I love you, I believe in you, and good luck on your level up journey. Bye. Hey there, pile 2. Welcome, welcome. This is going to be the identifiers portion of your reading. So if you want to skip this, there is another timestamp down below labeled pile 2 reading. And if you click that one, it will take you straight to the part with the cards. Let me go ahead and put these to the side. These identifiers are just extra confirmation for you to let you know that this is in fact your pile. If you already resonated with the Final Rose Tarot, then you may not need the identifiers, but some people just like them, so I like to provide that. On these little slips, I'm going to shake it up just a little bit. On these little slips, there are lots of different things, people, music, movies, books, random stuff. There's a whole bunch of random stuff in here. And whatever comes out should be so at least significant to you, maybe in your past, or it could have shown up in your life like recently over the last few days or something like that. You should definitely recognize at least one of the things in here, and it should have some sort of impact to you. So yeah, Spirit, we're doing a reading about what skills will make pile 2 more successful. This is a level up reading. People who chose the Final Rose Tarot. Who's in pile 2, Spirit? Who are my pile 2 people? Who needs to hear this message? While I'm doing this, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button, hit the like. It helps my video out so much. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can be more connected. Spirit, who's in pile 2? Is there anybody else in pile 2? Who's in pile 2? Any other pile 2 people? I always want to say like a weird name for pile 2. I don't know what it is. It's like pile 2lians. I don't know what that is. Who are my pile 2 people? Pile 2. Who chose the Final Rose Tarot? Anybody else in pile 2? Anybody else in pile 2? Who's in pile 2, Spirit? Anybody else? Alright, let's go. Is there more? Anybody else wants to come out? I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. Okay, cool, we're good. Alright, so we've got Breaking Free by Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens. That's from High School Musical. So that might have been like your favorite song from the movie. You might have heard somebody singing it recently. You might just really like to sing it. It could be like your karaoke song. George Clooney could be your favorite actor, or you might have seen something with him in it recently, or you might like one of his movies, like might have just been like a really big part of your past. Jason and Kira by Dana Davidson. That is a book. It's like a YA, so that's young adult romance novel. It's really cute. The Postal Service. This is like about like a jock who falls in love with this kind of like not nerdy girl, but more studious girl who's got this like really long natural hair, and like his other girlfriend who's like popular tries to like get him to stop liking her. I think she starts like tutoring him or something. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I read it, but it was cute. The number 3, so that could be your lucky number. You might be seeing 333 in a lot of places. That could be your favorite number. The month of March could be significant, which would be Pisces and Aries. Is that true? Yes, I believe so. And then you could like have 3 kids in your family, 3 people in your family. You could live on like 3rd Street on the 3rd floor of your building or something like that. Apartment number 3. Counting Crows, that's a band. Accidentally in Love is like one of their most famous songs from Shrek. Toni Morrison, she's an author. Ted Mosby, he is the main character of How I Met Your Mother, played by Josh Radnor. Red Hot Chili Peppers, that's a band. The Climb by Miley Cyrus, that is a song from the Hannah Montana movie. So we've got 2 little like soundtrack songs here. Breaking Free from High School Musical and The Climb by Miley from Hannah Montana. Sex and the City, that's a TV show starring Sarah Jessica Parker and others. Elliot Page, an actor. Swing Swing by the All American Rejects, that's a song that's off their first album. McDonald's, so maybe you really like to eat McDonald's or you ate there recently or something like that. You might have like good memories at McDonald's, or I guess bad memories, I don't know. Number 23, that's like Jordan, Michael Jordan. Also, Miley Cyrus has a song called 23 with Mike Will Made It. And I'm also now thinking about that song, What's My Age Again by Blink-182, where they're like, nobody likes you when you're 23. Nick Miller from New Girl. So we've got 2 leading men in here, Ted Mosby and Nick Miller, 2 leading characters. Sesame chicken, that could be like your favorite dish from the Chinese food spot, or you might have eaten it recently or something. Courtney B. Vance, another actor. Work From Home by Fifth Harmony. It's a song. You could work from home. What? 23 again? I didn't even know I had that in there twice. That's weird. I really didn't know that I had that in there 2 times. That's very strange. I don't feel good about that. I'm saying I don't feel good about that because I never remember, like, I don't remember putting that in there twice. That's very weird to me. It just goes to show that it's obviously meant to be in the bowl, but maybe you're seeing 2323 places. It's like deja vu. Maybe you get deja vu or something, which makes me think of that song by Olivia Rodrigo. And we did talk about like girlfriends and like multiple relationships with this book, Jason and Kara here. And in that song, Deja Vu, she and her boyfriend like break up, and then she's asking, like metaphorically, if he takes his new girlfriend to do all the stuff that they did together. And like, do you get deja vu when she's with you, right? So weird vibes. Amber, that could be a song by 311. That could be somebody's name. Also, there was an Amber in Love is Blind season 1 and season 4. So if that means something to you, then. Picture by Sheryl Crow and Kid Rock. That's a duet. I'll put your picture away. Kiki's Delivery Service. That is a movie. It's like an animated movie about a little witch who moves to a new town and starts like a delivery service on her broom. Seth Rogen. We're getting a lot of male actors in here. We've got a lot of leading men in general in here, but a lot of male actors. That's very interesting. Roller coaster. So maybe you like went to Six Flags or just went on a roller coaster recently, or you might just really like roller coasters. All black everything. Maybe you really like to wear all black. And then also, like when this came out and Toni Morrison came out, I wanted to say there's like black literature happening here. So all black everything kind of ties into that, because this is a book about 2 black protagonists, and then Toni Morrison mostly writes African American fiction where most of the characters are black. Janet Jackson, famous musician and sister of Michael Jackson. Teen Girl Squad, that is like an animated series from the same people who made Homestar Runner. It's silly. Zach Brown Band by Colder Weather. Colder Weather by Zach Brown Band. That is a song. The Gambler by Kenny Rogers. That's another song. Shanghai by Nicki Minaj. That's yet another song. Driving at Night. So maybe you really like to drive at night. Maybe you prefer it or something like that. Maybe you just like took a long night drive. Company by Drake featuring Travis Scott. I need some company. We're Going to Be Friends by the White Stripes. And it's funny because before I opened that, I was just thinking like maybe you drove to your friend's house at night the other day. And then this opened up, We're Going to Be Friends. So, yeah. Okay. Heart of Dixie, RB. RB stands for Rachel Bilson. It does make me think of the fast food chain Arby's, but Rachel Bilson is the star of the show of Heart of Dixie. She plays a New York City doctor who moves to a small town in Alabama to take over a family practice. Sassafras, Cypress, and Indigo by Intozaki Shanjay. That continues with our Black literature theme going on in here. It's a book about three sisters who all lead very different lives, but the threads that connect them. Tea Ceremony. So that is supposed to be like Chinese tea ceremony. China is coming through with Shanghai here, but you may just have some sort of like tea ritual that you adhere to in your own life. Pranks. Punked. Okay. Punked is the TV show where Ashton Kutcher used to go prank people. This could also just be pranks in general. Lemonade by Gucci Mane. Maybe you got pranked recently, or you were planning on doing a prank, or you might have seen somebody get pranked. Lemonade is a song by Gucci Mane. Piano. Maybe you play the piano. Maybe you like recently heard somebody playing the piano live, or I know like there are places sometimes called pianos, or like maybe you went to like a piano bar. Kimberly from 90 Day Fiancé. She and Usman were like dating. They might have been engaged at one point, and she's also on Pillow Talk now with her son Jamal. Catfish, the TV show, Neve Schulman, Cammie Crawford. So you could be like a fan of Catfish. You might have recently watched it, or you could have recently seen Neve or Cammie in like something else, whether it's like a commercial or an Instagram post or like Dancing with the Stars or that other show. I think Cammie hosts Are You the One or something. I don't really know. Summertime in Paris by Jaden and Willow. That's a song. It also makes me think that like maybe you could have gone to Paris in the summertime. Ballet Slippers by OPI. That's like a really pale pink nail polish color, but it also could just be about dancing, ballet. And also in Sassafras, Cypress, and Indigo, one of the sisters is a dancer. Helena by My Chemical Romance. That's a song. Ring. Interesting. We had Love is Blind earlier, so Ring, that makes me think of like engagement. It also rhymes with swing, swing. I don't know what that is about, but I felt compelled to say it. DJ Tambi from Ink Master. He is the person who's won Ink Master the most times. I think he's won it 3 times. And now in this season, he's returning as a judge. So if you're into Ink Master or just DJ Tambi, then you know what I'm talking about. Maybe just DJs. Los Angeles could be significant to you somehow. The number 10, so that could be the month of October, which is Scorpio and Libra. Could also be like 10th Street, 10th floor, apartment number 10. You could be seeing 1010, things like that. I guess like 10 people in your family. Evermore by Taylor Swift featuring Bon Iver. It's a song. Quarter. Maybe you like found a quarter in your pocket, or you needed quarters like for the laundry or something. It also makes me think of the French Quarter in New Orleans. Lobster. I don't know why I'm talking like that, you guys. Lobster. I don't know what that's about. You could just have eaten some lobster. You could really like lobster. I don't know. Something to do with lobsters. I just heard like a weird sound. Okay. Anyway. Silicon Valley. That's a show on HBO, but it also could be like the Silicon Valley in California. So you might like that show, or you might have connections to Silicon Valley. Breakfast at Tiffany's. That's a movie starring Audrey Hepburn. We've got Build-A-Bear. That's a store where people go and make stuffed animals. The number 6, we got some numbers in here. The number 6 is anything. You could be seeing 6s everywhere. That could be the month of June, which would be Gemini and Cancer. Yeah. 6 people in your family, 6th floor, 6th street, that kind of thing. Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender. He is the last airbender. We've got The Bachelorette, the TV show, which is hilarious because this deck is actually based off of like the Bachelorette franchise. It's called the Final Rose Tarot. So if you know, you know. The Bachelorette. It's on. Right now the Golden Bachelor is on with Gary. It's the first season, and also Bachelor in Paradise. Mia Thermopolis, she's the main character of The Princess Diaries, played by Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway came out in the first pile, so you may have messages in the first pile. Hidden Figures, that is a fantastic movie, possibly my favorite movie. Janelle Monáe is in there, Octavia Spencer is in there. I don't remember who else is in there, but it's about the black women who worked at NASA who helped to land us on the moon during the space race. And then The Good Place, the TV show starring Kristen Bell. All right. I think, did I mention Kristen Bell in here twice? No. I did mention Kristen Bell in the first pile. So again, you may have some messages in pile 1. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and write these down in my tarot journal, and I'm going to check on that weird sound, and we'll get right into it. Alrighty, pile 2, let's get into this reading. I am going to use a different little set of cards first. This is the Final Rose Tarot. We're going to put this over to the side for now, and I'm going to grab this deck called the Because I Love Myself deck. We're figuring out your level up, which skills will make you more successful, and I feel like these cards here are going to give us some insight. Spirit, those who chose pile 2 with the Final Rose Tarot for this level up reading about their new skills that they need to develop in order to make themselves more successful. What are those skills? What message do they need to hear in this reading? All right, we got respect. Aretha, respect, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Take care. T-B. What is it? Take care. T-B-T. I don't know. What is that? What is those little letters? Suck it to me, suck it to me, suck it to me, suck it to me. Take care. T-C-B, right? Taking care of business, okay? T-C-B. Take care, TCB, suck it to me, suck it to me, suck it to me, little respect. Okay, that was terrible, but anyway. Respect, I respect myself. If I need to make changes, I do all I can to support myself. I always listen to my inner voice and make space for its wisdom. All right, so the first thing that comes to mind is not only, of course, the self-respect part, but I do all I can to support myself made me think immediately of like entrepreneurship. It made me think of being an independent person financially, and if you need to make changes in order to like get to where you want to be financially, or if you do want to start your own business, or if you just need to make changes within your financial life, then you need to respect yourself enough to be able to do that, because nobody else is going to take care of your financial life for you. And if they are, then you need to keep a very close eye on them. You know, like if you have like an accountant or something, not to say that you shouldn't trust your accountant, but Rihanna's accountant stole from her. So you need to know what's going on in there. Even if you have somebody else who is, you know, paying attention to your stuff for you, you need to know what's going on in there. But if you have dreams of maybe having a side hustle or having your own business or something like that, then you need to grow into the person who can actually do that, okay? So maybe you already are, maybe you already do have your own business. If so, there might be some changes that need to be made. I always listen to my inner voice and make space for its wisdom. So I think that you kind of know already what you need to do or what you want to do, but you might not be taking the action that's necessary. Pile 2. What is the message here for pile 2 about their skills that they need to develop? in order to level up and be more successful. Adventure Time. Isn't there a TV show called Adventure Time? I've never seen it, but I heard people like it. I take myself somewhere wonderful each day, to a park with a special treat, to a cafe. I give myself adventures and explore the world that I am blessed to be a part of. Yeah, this is making me think of like working, did we get work from home? Was that one of our things that we got? Or was that in pile 1? Okay, so we did get work from home. If you guys didn't watch the Identifiers, Work From Home by Fifth Harmony came out, and this is making me think about that. Like, you could be working at like a co-working space or in a cafe or something, but you know, it is good, even if you don't have to go to an office, it's good to get out and about and be in the world. You never know who you're going to meet, which pile 1 will speak to that, but yeah, you need to start having a little bit more adventures, or even be just a little bit more adventurous in your financial life and your business. You need to be more curious as well. Anything else for pile 2 from this message, from this deck? All right, let's see. Anything else? I only take the messages that come out face up, so what is it? There we go, right there. Delightful movement. I move in healthful ways each day. A short walk, a dance to music I love, a swim within the ocean's cleansing beauty. I appreciate and support the wonder of my physical being. So you may just need to get outside more. That might be the message here, is that this one simple thing can help you to level up and get outside, and just to get outside more. We had this come through as well, which is loving energy. As I move, there we go. As I move throughout this day, I surround myself with loving energy. I consciously place myself within an energy field that supports, protects, and shields me. So yeah, I think that you're either spending too much time alone or at home or in places that are like not that healthy for you. And Spirit is saying that you can do a very simple level up by going out to find new places to be, or just moving your body more. If you are an entrepreneur, it may be that you need to change up like your office space, okay? If you work from home and you're always alone, it could be really beneficial for you to like go get a co-working space, or just to go and find like a cool cafe or something where there are other people with free Wi-Fi that you can, you know, take advantage of and that you can talk to. Or in that people that you can talk to. We're not taking advantage of anybody, but people that you can talk to. All right. All right, I feel like there's more. Spirit, what other messages do you have for pile 2? Okay, here we go. I cheer myself on. Yes, be your biggest cheerleader. I am with me every step of the way. I take the time to encourage and support myself. There we go again with supporting myself. And if I falter, I will be there to help myself back up again. I can do this. And then we have imaginative freedom. I allow my creativity to flow, whether I write, draw, sew, sing, play, or dance. I will be there. I appreciate my imagination and all its amazing beauty. So yeah, this is giving like digital nomad vibes for sure. It's also giving just like being able to support yourself no matter what, whether you work for somebody else or whether you work for yourself. Just knowing that you have the skills that you need in order to support yourself. And if you don't have those skills that you need in order to support yourself, then Spirit is encouraging you to develop them, okay? Yeah. Let's see. Anything else? All right. We're going to go ahead and grab our tarot cards now. And let's see what messages we get. I'm going to use these tarot cards to help us not only to identify like where you currently are, but also what skills that you need in order to get to your best version of you, to level up this time. And this will not be our only level up reading, but it's a good place to start. Spirit, my people who chose pile 2 in this level up reading about which skills they need to develop to make them more successful, where are they now and what skills do they need to develop? Help us clarify this, please, and thank you. All right, I'm going to shuffle it one more time. Maybe more than once. We'll see. All right, let's go. Message for pile 2. All right, we got the Star in reverse. This is the cocktail party in reverse. What else? All right, we got the Three of Roses, next destination, which is the Three of Wands. We have the Tower in reverse, and then we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse as well, which they've labeled the single mom. Is there anything else for this reading about the skills that Pile 2 needs to develop and how they can level up? Here we go. We got, ooh, the Moon in reverse. You guys have a lot of major arcana here, which is indicating a major decision in your life. We have 8, Strength opening up. Yeah, that's another major arcana card. So this is like a major decision in your life. Pile 1 did not have, I don't want to say any, I don't think they had any major arcana cards. Maybe they did. I don't remember. Let me look. They did not. So I feel like even though, yes, there definitely could be some messages for you in Pile 1 because I think there's a little similarity, but I feel like for Pile 2 it's actually like more serious than Pile 1. And if this is like about an entrepreneurial journey or something like that, then this is like, this skill could be make or break in terms of the success of your business and the success of like your independent ventures. Okay. All right, so this is the Magician. This card is the Magician, and if you complete these skills, you will be able to produce the results, the exact results that you want in your life. You'll be able to get exactly what it is that you want. You'll be able to plan it out. You'll know how it should go. You'll be able to, you know, get the footage that you need, edit it to tell the story that you want, and produce the final product that you desire, okay? But it's gonna take some serious work to get to this point, okay? You have to study with this Page of Swords here. You have to talk to people. You have to learn from people. You have to put in some serious studying hours. You have to have discipline. You have to have the strength and the discipline to open your mind, open yourself up to new experiences and to new skills, and also to show what you're doing to other people, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean show it to the world, but it does mean show it to other people. Showing it to the world may be for some of you guys. You know, social media may be for some of you guys, but you have to be willing to open up and to let people see what it is that you want to do and what it is that you want them to see, okay? The Moon here in reverse is about no more secrets. It's about letting your secrets go, letting your freak flag fly is what I'm hearing also right now. And this also, Queen of Pentacles here in reverse, is about being a little bit more selfish, okay? This is like if you packed your own lunch and you wrote yourself your own note, okay? And if you think about it, like you pack yourself a lunch when you're going out somewhere, when you're leaving home, right, for the day. So that goes along with this idea of like adventure time, exploring a park, a special tree, or a cafe somewhere. So pack yourself a lunch. This also, like I was talking about with your finances, you may need to make some changes to your financial life. You may need to stop eating out so much. Okay, you might need to start cooking at home more, even if it means bringing yourself a lunch. So you might have to sacrifice a couple of things or sacrifice a couple of frivolous lifestyle things, make some lifestyle adjustments, okay? With this sent home here, the Tower here in reverse, I think that you have some disappointment. There's been some major shakeups and some major disappointment in your life. Maybe it was outside of your control. Do you have a good foundation? That's questionable. I think you could have a good foundation, but you might not be doing anything with it, okay? And I think that you're worried about like getting to your next destination and like finding out that it is like a pile of crap instead of like actually good. So it's like, you know, when they say like you can turn shit into fertilizer or whatever, right? I think that you think that you can do that, but you're worried that you get there and then it's like the worst kind of poop that can't become fertilizer. I don't even know if that exists. I don't really know. I'm making up this metaphor as I go. But I think that's kind of the attitude that you have to have, is like willing to pivot and make things up as you go, but knowing also that vulnerability is going to be really important for you. And I think that is possibly the main skill here, is being vulnerable about your failures. opening up about any failures that you may have had in the past, whether it's admitting them to yourself or, if necessary, admitting them to other people who can help you. But with the cocktail party here, and that's the star here in reverse, that is like a loss of hope. It's an unwillingness to go after your dreams. It can also be an unwillingness to connect with other people, or like being bad at connecting with other people, which if you watch pile 1, then you will get some tips and pointers for that as well. But yeah, I think that you need to learn how to maintain hope and also understand that like it's a journey, it's an adventure. It's funny I said it's a journey. Anybody who watches The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, any of like those spin-offs or anything, they use the word journey so much. They're like, it's my journey. And like, this is your journey. But I think that this is more about like your business and your career than it is about like love or anything like that, you know? Travel could be important for you in this scenario, or you might need to be open to travel or willing to travel more or something like that. But mainly I'm getting vulnerability, and then also willingness to meet new people, whether it's online or if it's in person, and also being willing to like move. Even for some of you guys, you may actually physically need to move somewhere. Okay, we did get like delightful movement as I move throughout this day, right? So there may be, whether that's physical movement in terms of like moving residences, moving cities, or if it's just like being more active in your community. Either way, I think that you need to be willing to connect more with other people is a big part of it. But this is like make or break situation, especially if you are, like I said, an entrepreneur, you're trying to support yourself, or even if you're just trying to start like a side hustle or something like that, you need to be a little bit more vulnerable and like maybe not so secretive about what it is that you're wanting to do. You know, they say that if you're willing to let other people know what you're trying to do, then they're probably more willing to help you do it, right? So if you've been keeping it to yourself, then it's going to be hard for other people to know how to help you. And with the gossip being here, Page of Mirrors, Page of Swords, that makes me think it's like, it's a good idea to tell people what you're doing. You know, no business can survive without marketing. Maybe marketing is one of the skills that you need to learn here. No business can survive without marketing. Yes, there are some businesses that like don't have ads and don't do advertising, and maybe they just do word of mouth marketing, and that's fine if that's the type of business that you want to be. But like, somebody needs to know about it. Some people need to know about it in order for word of mouth to happen, right? So marketing may be the skill that you need, but yeah. What else? Planning is going to be really important here. You know, she's here with like her little clipboard and her little headset. Okay, so headset makes me think of making calls. You might need to make some calls. You might need to get like a list of people to call. That could be her call list. Okay. Yeah, I think getting the word out is probably the biggest skill you need, which to me that's marketing. There could be more to this. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get this archetypes deck out here. Spirit, what skill does pile 2 need that will make them more successful? The people who chose the Final Rose Tarot for this level up reading, what skill is going to make them more successful? Thank you. All right, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut it like this. And we got Knight. We got Knight. So this is being able to go after what you want. Going after it. Get after it. That's like what people say all the time. My trainer used to say that to me in the gym. And I would always laugh. I'd always think it was such a funny thing to say, but get after it. That's the only thing you can do. And Knights are like, that's a lot of movement too, right? We got all this movement here. They're out there in the field fighting for what it is that they need, fighting for whatever they believe in or whatever it is, you know, fighting for their king or their queen or whatever. I'm gonna rearrange these real quick. All right, so we got here The light attributes are loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. The shadow attributes are allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle, romantic delusions. So yeah, you might have like this delusional idea of like what it means to own your own business, or what it means to, you know, have this side hustle or whatever it is, but you may not actually be putting in like the actual work and effort that it takes. Knights go through a lot of training. You know, it's not like they just like put anybody on a horse and they're like, you're a knight now. No, that's not how it works. They go through a lot of training, and you need to learn some stuff, okay? You got some stuff to learn before you can really go out there in the field and like do your thing, okay? So yeah, I'm getting marketing, but I also just like willingness to fight, stick-to-itiveness, I think is big for you. But also the whole thing of movement is really important here. And I kind of came back to that several times when I was getting these cards here out, because even though like the entrepreneurship thing came through, the movement and love of adventure kept coming, right? Imaginative freedom, adventure time, delightful movement. I cheer myself on, you know. Knights, like, not only did they go to battle for their kingdoms, but they also like would do like duels and jousting and all that kind of stuff. And it's like they needed a cheerleader, and sometimes they just had to be their own cheerleader, I guess. I don't know, I wasn't there, but I would assume so. So I feel that you need to be willing to see where the adventure takes you. And also it's like, and every knight has a horse, right? And that horse is what helps them get where they're going. It's not like they're just there on their own 2 feet. This horse is powerful. Horses represent hard work. Horses, like we always say, like a workhorse. Horses represent hard work. They represent speed and diligence and freedom. So if you want those things, then you need to be willing to work for it. And that's the skill here, is putting in the work, putting in, getting the plan together, okay? Knights also, like, they'll wear or they'll have like the flag of, you know, the kingdom or whatever group it is that they're affiliated with on them, right? So, or like attached to their horse or whatever. You see how he's got all this like colorful regalia? So you have to like let people know. Gotta let people know what's up. And didn't I say let your freak flag fly? Did I say that? It looks like he's carrying a flag right here. This is, I think, a flag right there. So yeah, yes. All right, guys, whatever insecurities are coming up for you, you're gonna have to learn how to, especially around vulnerability, you're gonna have to let them go. But this is also, I think, about building an appropriate coat of armor for yourself, one that is actually useful rather than one that hinders you. Because, you know, knights, like, they do move a lot, not just on their horses, but, you know, when they're fighting and stuff. And it's like, when you think about like a knight's armor, right, it had to be able to like bend, it had joints, it had like little things, and yes, maybe it was heavy, but it still had some level of flexibility to it. And so I think that you need to learn how to have that as well. Even if this is a heavy responsibility, you need to have some level of flexibility to your life and your plans and how you want things to go forward in the future. I'm getting called to look at this star card here, the cocktail party again. And this just makes me think that you maybe don't believe that you have what it takes. Maybe you don't believe that you're meant to be a star, or that you're meant to shine, or that you're meant to, you know, be a part of that whatever percent that it is that you want to be, you know. I don't necessarily want to say like the 1%. I don't think that that's necessarily true, but, you know, maybe you want to be like in the top of your field of whatever it is that you decide to pursue. If you're like an optometrist, you want to be like in the top 1% of optometrists or something, you know. But you want to be with all those other people who have made it and who are celebrating. And I think that you kind of just don't believe that you have what it takes to get there. And you have to change that about yourself. You have to change that mindset, okay? I think that you feel like you're not on the same level as them. Maybe you'll never be on the same level as them. Like something's just off. Even if, like I said, you might have part of the foundation or something, you're using it the wrong way, something is just off. And it's funny because like I'm looking at these champagne glasses here, and it's like, you know, some of the champagne is like tilted. It's like at an angle. It's not like this one and this one, right? They're at an angle. And it just makes me think that you feel like you don't have the right angle maybe to get in there. But I think with time and with some effort, you can figure it out. You have to be willing to put the work in and be your own cheerleader, okay? Yeah. All right, let's get some messages here from this Abraham, Jerry, and Esther Hicks money deck. Spirit, what's the message for pile 2, who chose the Final Rose Tarot, about which skills will make them more successful? Their level up reading. Pile 2. Okay. Let's go. All right, we got my what is need not influence my what is becoming. That's that Tower card that we're talking about here, where I said like you might feel like you could have the foundation, but maybe not all the way. You feel like you don't belong. Yeah. All right. So your future could be vastly different from what the present looks like if you're willing to put the work in, for sure. What is has no bearing on what is coming unless you are continually regurgitating the story of what is. By thinking and speaking more of how you really want your life to be, you allow what you are currently living to be the jumping off place for so much more. But if you speak predominantly of what is, then you still jump off, but you jump off into more of the same. The present, of course, has an effect on us, but you have a lot of power when it comes to changing your future. You can use the present moment to make the changes that you need in order for the future to be how you want it to look. And so you can get into that room, you can be the star that you're wanting to be, okay? Even if you're not there now, that doesn't mean you'll never be there. These are major decisions here. These are major pivots, major turns, major actions that you can take, okay? But it all just comes down to one, willingness to like move, willingness to get up, get out, and willingness to work hard, okay? Let people know what it is that you stand for. Let people know what it is that you're doing. All right, let's see. All right, let's get these healing angel cards here. Messages from these healing angels. Spirit, pile 2, what messages do you have for pile 2 about their skills that they need to be more successful for pile 2? Their level up reading. We got transformation. Through the great love that holds you in its embrace, you are moment by moment transforming to ever greater light, ever greater oneness, and ever greater wisdom. So that's that same kind of message here about the present, and your what is need not influence your what is becoming, because they're saying moment by moment you're becoming ever greater, right? So if you take that to heart, it's true. What do we have here? We've got forgiveness. Let the past go. Clear your heart and mind through forgiveness. I wonder what it is you have to forgive yourself for. Whatever it is that's the vulnerable piece here, and living for other people versus living for yourself, you need to learn how to live for yourself. Anything else, Spirit? Oh, okay. Mindfulness. Be mindful of another's feelings and needs. Someone needs your love right now. A loving thought is all it takes. So even though you do need to be a little bit more selfish, it does pay to still know that if other people need your love, you can send it to them energetically. Okay, you can send them like a little prayer. You can send them a little well wishes. You don't have to like always physically be there for somebody. If it is time for you to focus on yourself, then focus on yourself, but that doesn't mean that you can, stop wishing people well. All right. So I guess the question is really, How do we make it to this place of like no hope or low hope to this place where you are fully in control of your life? Okay. The skills that you need is really just the willingness to take the leap to get there, the willingness to put in the work to get there, the willingness to be vulnerable and open up. Okay. But with this being your next card, like the very second card being this Three of Roses, which is Three of Wands, seeing the next destination, you have to be willing to change your plans. I think that that's really what it is. You have to be willing to change your plans and be adaptive to change. Whatever it is that you want to produce, you're capable of doing it. You just have to believe in yourself, and you have to be willing to make the move and let your true destination and your true desires be known. You have to be willing to fight for it. Okay? If you're not willing to fight for it, nobody's going to like push you into your dreams. Yeah, pile 2, I think you just need to be willing also to like sometimes go in a totally different direction from where you have been in the past, which is like what I'm getting with this foundation thing that I was talking about on the tower. It's like you might have a foundation somewhere else, and maybe you don't have a foundation in what it is that you're trying to do now. And if that's the case, like you need to put the work in to build a foundation there. And so you might need to take some time to yourself. You might need to change the way that you're living, change your lifestyle a little bit, in order to learn the new things. Because for some of you guys, this is like going in a totally different direction from what it is that you were previously trained in, or where your foundation or your safety has been in the past. And so this might feel like an unsafe situation for you. You know, knights, they're there to fight. They're there to go fight battles. Battles are not safe places necessarily. And so with all this like movement that we got, you might have to like be willing to pivot. Your ability to pivot and to change your plans and to go in a totally different direction is the skill that you're going to need in order to be successful here, okay? And if you can do that, then you'll end up being able to create exactly the life that you want for yourself. No matter what life that may be, even if you end up changing your mind in the future, you'll have the ability because you did it in the past. And with my what is need not influence my what is becoming, that just goes to show that it's like it could be two completely different things. Like night and day kind of different things, right? All right, pile 2, I'm going to leave your reading here. Thank you so much for sticking around with me. I hope that it was enjoyable for you. And if you liked it, don't forget to give a thumbs up to the video and to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey there, pile 3. If you chose the Sun and Moon Tarot, then this is going to be the identifiers for your reading. If you want to skip over this part, there is another timestamp in the description box down below that you can use to get straight to the part with the cards. All right, let's put this over to the side and let's see who is in this reading. I don't know if you guys noticed, but my nail color is a little different. I filmed parts 1 and 2 last night, and then I did my nails this morning, and now we've got this like cute little shiny brownish pink going on. All right, let's see who's in pile 3. This is a reading all about leveling up, what skills will make you more successful. The people who chose the Sun and Moon Tarot Spirit. Who's in pile 3? Who are my pile 3 people? Who's in pile 3? While I'm doing this, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button to like the video, and don't forget to subscribe because it makes us more connected. Spirit, who's in pile 3? Who are my pile 3 people who chose the Sun and Moon Tarot? Who are my pile 3 people? All right. So the way that these work is at least one of these things should be familiar to you, significant to you somehow. It could have even just shown up in your life in the past couple of days, but it should kind of turn a little light on in your head. We've got the song Footloose by Kenny Loggins. That's also from a movie. The movie's also called Footloose. We have E equals MC squared. That is like a mathematical / scientific equation. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. Gloria Delgado Pritchett. She is played by Sofia Vergara. She's a character on Modern Family. We've got West Africa here. Nigeria, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, and I'm going to add Togo to that as well. We have, so like you could be from West Africa, your parents could be from West Africa, you might have spent a lot of time in West Africa, or you might be planning a trip there, something like that. Nicole Byer, she is an actress and also like a host. I feel like she's hosting one of those like competition shows where people do like endurance tests or something, but you also may know her from like Grand Crew or Girl Code or something like that. Painting, so you might be a painter, you might really enjoy painting, you might have like recently found a painting that you love or something like that. You might be like going to go look at paintings in like an art museum or something sometime soon, or maybe you just did that. Anthony Kiedis, Remy Wolf. So Anthony Kiedis is the lead singer for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Remy Wolf is an independent artist. I don't mean it in terms of like she's not signed. I mean it like she doesn't have a band. She just like is a solo artist, I guess I should say. And she has a song called Anthony Kiedis. Sorry if you guys could just hear those birds outside. I have my window open today and it's a little bit louder than I expected. Caribbean Queen, No More Love on the Run by Billy Ocean. That's a song. Caribbean Queen, Vietnam. So kind of like same vibes as West Africa in terms of what that could mean to you. We've got Chateau Marmont in Hollywood. That is a hotel. Fish Food by Ben & Jerry's. So Ben & Jerry's is like an ice cream company. Fish Food is one of their flavors. You know what's so funny? I have no idea why whenever I sit down to do one of these readings, my dog decides that that's exactly the time that he wants to start eating his food. Like this food has been out for a good little while now. It's like mid-afternoon as I'm filming this. And he could have eaten this at any time, and yet every time I sit down to do a reading, that's when he wants to eat. I don't know what that's about. We've got When You're Good to Mama by Queen Latifah from Chicago. So Chicago, the musical, was turned into a movie. Queen Latifah played a part and she sang that song. Animal print. So maybe you're like wearing animal print, or you really like animal print, or you might have like a lot of animal print decor in your house or in the place where you're currently staying. Or like, for example, if you went to a hotel recently and they had a lot of animal print in there, then that could be a sign that this is your reading. International, yeah, there's a lot of international energy here. West Africa, Vietnam. So maybe you're planning an international trip, or your parents could be from like 2 different countries, or maybe you have spent a lot of time internationally or something. Really, Really by Kevin Gates. That's a song. All my diamonds shine because they're really diamonds. Hide your kids, hide your wife. That is a little quote from Antoine Dodson when he was on the news. Somebody like tried to break into his house and assault his sister. We've got Teach for America. That's a teacher's training program for college graduates. God Must Have Spent a Little More Time on You by NSYNC. It's a song. Justin Timberlake is a member of NSYNC, and he came out in both of the other piles. He came out in pile 1 as like part of a song with like Snoop Dogg, and then he came out in pile 2, I think, just by himself. That might be true. I'm not totally sure. Pull Up by Abra. That's a song. We've got Oklahoma. So that is the state. It's also a musical. It's interesting. We've got 2 musicals named after places in here, Chicago and Oklahoma. We've got Angela Bassett. She's an actress. You may know her from lots of different things. American Horror Story. And So I Got Her Groove Back. Waiting to Exhale. A lot of stuff. The London. Oh, the Tina Turner movie. The London is a song by like Young Thug and some other people, but it's also, this could also just be London in general, adding to like our international theme here. Randall Park, he's an actor. You might know him from Fresh Off the Boat or Always Be My Maybe. Mississippi, that's the state, crooked letter state. It could also maybe be the Mississippi River, I guess. We've got the number 5 here, so that could be the month of May, which would be Taurus and Gemini. 5 could be your lucky number. You might be seeing 555. You could live on the 5th floor, have 5 kids, 5 people in your family, 5th Street, stuff like that. Bob Marley, Jamaican musician, reggae artist. Cheesy snacks. Maybe you really love cheesy snacks. That might be like your favorite type of snack. Or you could be eating a cheesy snack right now as I film this. Or as you watch this, rather. And then we got Keke Palmer. It's so funny we got Keke Palmer and Angela Bassett together because they look a lot alike. And I always thought it would be funny if like Keke Palmer played Angela Bassett in like a biopic of Angela Bassett's life. And Angela Bassett played Tina Turner in a biopic of Tina Turner's life. So, interesting here. Baby, I'm Keke Palmer. Baby, that's Keke Palmer. Anyway, yeah. All right, these are our identifiers. I'm going to go write these down in my tarot journal. And I will be right back for the reading. What's up, pile 3? We're here with the deck of cards, the Sun and Moon Tarot. We're going to get right into it. Let's go ahead and get our cards out. We're going to start with a different deck. I'm going to put this off to the side. We're going to get this second. So let me go ahead and get the cards that we're going to use first. All right, y'all. We're going to start off with this Because I Love Myself deck. Because in the level up journey, loving yourself is a must, right? So let's go ahead and see. Spirit, pile 3 of this question, what skills does pile 3 need to make them more successful, this level up reading? What does pile 3, who chose the Sun and Moon Tarot, what do they need to know? Here we go. I love my inner child. Inside me dwells a child, and I care for that child. I give them my loving attention, encircling them with protection. When I'm present for my inner child, my adult self heals. So yeah, right away, my first thought is therapy could be really good for you if you're in a place where you're able to do that. It might be helpful. The other thing would be identifying the types of things that your inner child liked to do and engaging in some of those activities. This could also be reparenting yourself. So working on ways to ensure that in your adulthood, you are taking care of yourself the way that a parent would take care of their child. So if that might mean like, you know, making sure your space is consistently clean, making sure that you're eating right, you know, making sure that all of like, if you're in school, your assignments are done on time. If you're working, that you have, you know, a comfortable space to work and that you're getting what needs to be done. What else is there for pile 3, Spirit? I only take the ones that come out face up. If you've been rocking with me for a minute, then you know that. Anything else for pile 3? There we go. Hush. We've got time to change. I will be patient with myself. All that is worthwhile takes time to change, and I know that I'm growing every day. I slow down, appreciate all I have done, and continue on my journey. Whatever this is, this level up skill, it is going to take time. It's going to take time for it to come full circle. It's going to take time possibly also for you to see results. You know, I think that we often try and value like speed and really quick things, and people talk about like timeline jumping and quantum leaps and stuff like that. But, you know, putting in the work in yourself, it can take time. Like, let's say that you are trying to like lose weight or something, you know, unless you are going under the knife and trying to, you know, get surgery, it's going to take time for you to see the results that you want to see physically. If you are, you know, studying for a test, you can try and cram all the information in, but it's a lot better for your retention if you consistently study, you know, every day, a little bit a day, right? So it takes time in order for you to do this. And being consistent is something that parents do for their children, or that parents at least should do for their children. So they try and provide them with like a stable and consistent environment. And I think that that's part of what you need to do here. Spirit, anything else for pile 3 in their level up journey? Any other words of wisdom from this Because I Love Myself deck? The people who chose the Sun and Moon Tarot, what do they have? I am worthy of love. I accept my own self-love. I accept the love of others. I ensure my own needs are met. When I do this, I can love others even more. Yeah, there's very strong like reparenting vibes here. Ensuring that your own needs are met. Inner conversations. I speak to myself in loving ways about my own self. I hold myself in the embrace of compassion as the Divine Mother would hold her child. I am kind to myself. Did I see that? Okay, so yeah, for some of you, reparenting could just mean that you need to examine your habits and get some new habits, especially like around the home, around health, around like I was talking about, with school or knowledge or work. But, and some of it could be like around, your diet, nutrition, or even around your sleep routine. Parents, like, they usually have a special time that they put their kids to bed. They have like a bedtime routine. They have a bedtime. So it's like if your kid is going to sleep at 8:30, you guys do like your bath and you do the brushing of the teeth and you read them a story and you tuck them in and you make sure they're all cozy and you put on their white noise machine or whatever it is. I don't have kids, but I've babysat before and I see a lot of the nighttime routines that parents have for their kids, and that might be something that you need to implement in your life. But for others of you, this could also involve some form of therapy, okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead and put these cards away. We're going to use our tarot deck. Sorry, guys, I woke up with like a little teeny tiny cold. The seasons are changing. And whenever that happens, I kind of get a little bit sick, so I apologize if you hear me doing a little sniffles. All right, Spirit. My pile 3s who chose the Sun and Moon Tarot. Which skills will make them more successful? We also want to get a little like awareness of where they are now and why they need these skills and what skills it is that they need. So pile 3, in their level up journey, what skills do they need to be more successful? All right. We got the Seven of Wands, excuse me. The Seven of Wands here. We got the King of Cups. What else? We got the Ace of Cups in reverse. Pile 3. What skills do they need? Here we go. King of Wands. Interesting. 2 kings, which are actually knights in this deck. Got the Nine of Pentacles. And then the Princess of Pentacles in reverse. Is there anything else, any last cards that need to come out? All right, got the Star in reverse. I got the Two of Cups in reverse. Okay. All right, so the first thing that I heard is from RuPaul, when RuPaul says things like, if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love anybody else or whatever? I haven't seen that show in so long. But I do feel like when we lack self-love, the love that we give away to other people is, I'm not going to say not as valuable, but it's just not as stable. It's not as strong. Sometimes it comes from a place of like obsession or like reverence for the other person. And when you have a strong sense of self-love and a strong sense of boundaries and a strong sense of, who you are and what you value as a person, then it's a lot easier to recognize like what somebody else brings with them in a relationship. And the love that you have for them becomes based less on need and more on like appreciation, want, and love. It's not like fear based. It's based in a genuine appreciation for them. That's the first thing that's coming to my mind. The second thing that's coming to my mind is that somebody may have dealt you kind of like a bad hand in love previously. You might have like a kind of defensive nature to you. And, this is not necessarily going to be for everybody, but you might have a kind of defensive nature to you where you kind of push people away. And that might be because somebody came and offered you something that you thought at first was good and then it turned out to be bad. Maybe they tricked you into thinking that they wanted you for who you were, but then they really only wanted something physical. And it also could be just like a toxic relationship in general. Like, I'm just thinking about how these two horses are like facing each other with this Ace of Cups in the reverse in the middle. And that's just making me kind of think about like two people either kind of rushing into something because of their own motives and desires, and that something that they've rushed into is toxic or is bad for them. Or it could be that even if they're like good on their own, the relationship itself is not good. So like these could be two people who are generally successful, but the relationship between them just was not a good match, especially here with this Two of Cups in the reverse. The Nine of Pentacles and the fact that both of these knights/kings in this deck are upright makes me think that both people do have direction, they have drive, they know what they want, they have done decently successfully in life. They're definitely, not all the way up at the top of their field, but they're working on it. But whatever this relationship between the two of them was, just was not good. It wasn't right. It might have made somebody feel like it was a waste of time, one or both of them. It could have just been hopeless or kind of doomed from the beginning. This could be like star-crossed lovers kind of situation. And Princess of Pentacles here in the reverse makes me think about wasting time, wasting resources, putting your resources, your energy, your effort, your money, your things in places that they don't belong because you're not paying attention. It's like, are you paying attention to the signs and the signals that this person is not good for you? And in some cases, I think people want to try certain things in relationships because they're like, oh, it's time for me to like let my guard down. And I like this person and I think that they like me. So I'm going to let my guard down and I'm going to, see how it goes. And then they end up getting burned. I see like definitely one person on their way to get burned. The other person is on their way to like be overflowing and overcome with emotions. This definitely could have been a situation where like one person was a lot more emotionally invested and then the other person was maybe only sexually invested. And so what could have been a good situation ended up being like a cup full of crap, ended up being really bad, because these people didn't want the same things. They might have appeared on the surface like they had similarities. This also could have been like an interracial relationship. I'm just saying that because we have like the white horse and the black horse. That doesn't have to, and probably will not apply to everybody, obviously, but yeah. I think after this relationship, if you've exited it, it could have even not been a relationship. It might have just been like a hopeful relationship, like a situationship or a situation where you were hopeful that things would go like long term and then they didn't. Maybe it ended before it even began. But I do see that as a result of this, you've learned how to be fine on your own without being defensive. You've learned how to be open. I think before here, like you were fine on your own, but you were defensive about letting other people in. And now you're like at this place where you're like, you know what? the right person will come along, and when they do, they're going to appreciate what I have. And like what I have is this like beautiful, you know, sunflower arrangement. I'm here just chilling, waiting. And I feel like that is where you are. And I think that you also recognize like what it looks like for somebody to like come correctly now, rather than coming in looking like one thing. I think that you maybe aren't as into the idea of like heroic love. I won't even say or grand gestures. Grand gestures could be a part of it, but I think you see through those kinds of things now. And you're looking more for somebody who pays attention, somebody who is willing to put in the time, you know, somebody who's willing to learn you and who you can learn, you know. There is like a lack of hope here that that's going to happen. I mentioned an interracial relationship. This could also be like an interfaith relationship, or it could be that you're meant to find somebody who maybe has a different faith than you, if you have one. If you consider yourself religious in any way, you might find somebody whose spirituality looks a little bit different than yours. But I also think that the skill that you need in terms of like therapy or reparenting yourself is going to be about how to not feel like you have to do everything on your own and not feel so defensive about everything. Like the fact that you can do everything on your own is great, but you know, as people, we live in community, and I think that you need to kind of retool your idea of like what family is and what family means to you, whether that is biological family or chosen family. And I think that you need to also consider, for some of you, this is like considering forgiving your parents, okay? And recognizing that like your parents were two imperfect people who came together, and you know, if they knew each other or if they didn't know each other, it doesn't really matter. But if their relationship did not work out as intended, I think you need to kind of forgive them for that, you know? Yeah. I'm getting that like dancing could be really helpful for some of you guys. If you didn't watch the Identifiers, Footloose came out, the song by Kenny Loggins, which is also a movie about like a town that forbids dancing. And I don't know why, but like this girl here, like the way that she's stepping just makes me think about dancing. So I don't know what that's about, but yeah, for some of you guys that could be helpful. I'm also going to mention bar, B-A-R-R-E. The way that she's like holding onto this bar makes me think of ballet bars. I know they have like they have exercises like based on that, so that could be helpful. And then I think also you need to like think about friendship and what friendship means to you. Some of you guys might have issues in your friendships as well. And the defensiveness, like the Seven of Wands, just really wants the attention right now. This card right here is not letting up. And I don't know if it's because there's something that I'm not getting from it, or if it's just like that's the energy that you're in. And also like the lesson that you need to learn. Like this card says valor on it, right? And that's about bravery. That's about victory. It's about being willing to stand up when nobody else is, and also caring for yourself when there's nobody able to, or there's nobody around to do that. I know in a book that I read once, like when I was really early on in my tarot journey, there was this, I want to say it was Rachel Pollack in the 78 Degrees of Wisdom, but I don't remember really if it was her who said that. But the Seven of Wands in the Rider-Waite deck, the character on there is like wearing two different shoes. And the author said something like, it always made them wonder if maybe the character had like run out of their house after like a fire or something, like their house is on fire and they ran out and they just had to grab whatever they could. And I kind of get this. It's like almost like grasping at straws. You see how these wands are like up and around her and she's picked one up? It's like grasping at straws just to kind of like see what you can grab onto and see what you can hold on to. And I think that that might have been kind of like what attracted you to certain relationships in the past, and that hasn't worked. And you're kind of like, okay, well, if that doesn't work, like what is going to work? What do I need to do? How do I fix this? You know? And being willing to be alone, being willing to like work on your shit, being willing to figure it out on your own, I think is going to be really important here. You might have leaned in the past on toxic relationships in order to like get you through certain things, and learning to be alone could be the skill that you need in particular. And also just like learning how to make new friends, learning how to be friends with people could be really important. There's a couple cards here that are like really about independence, but then this one card here at the end is about connection. And this could also be about connecting with people who are different than you, who are fundamentally different than you are. And also maybe like knowing when to let a connection go, when to pour out the glass and walk away, you know? Not every person that you meet is meant to be in your life for a long time. Not every, person that you are romantically or sexually interested in is going to be a match, even in the short term or the long term. And I think you need to recognize that. And then also that like relationships, whether they're friendships or romantic or whatever, familial, they take time to build, right? Time to change. I'll be patient. They take time to build. And this lotus flower here, it's like, lotuses, like they grow out of the mud and they grow into these like really beautiful flowers, but they need time to do that. And I think that you maybe have been rushing things because, you're so hopeful and like, you just think that things are meant to move quickly, but every time you do that, like they burn out. And I mentioned earlier, it's like it ended before it could even begin. You need to learn how to take your time. That is one of the biggest skills here, learning how to take your time and how to really connect with other people. Okay, we're going to move on to some other cards. I'm going to get this archetype deck. Spirit, my people who chose pile 3 with the Sun and the Moon Tarot, what skill will make them more successful on this level up journey? As they're leveling up, what skill will make them have success? All right, I'm going to shuffle one more time. All right, let's do this. All right, here we go. Detective. Interesting. Detective light attributes say great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth. The shadow attributes are voyeurism and falsifying information. So to me, this not only goes with figuring out, like I was saying, what people's values are and if they're aligned with yours, but it also goes with doing your own research into your own inner self. Okay? When we think about detectives and like private eyes and stuff, like they're there to find out the truth. They do background checks, they dig into people's backgrounds, and if they have to like, be on the beat, follow people around, take photos, whatever, then they do that because they want to get to the truth. And to me, this is about tracking your progress. It's also about observing yourself, which can happen through therapy, can happen through journaling, and learning how to trust your own intuition. Okay? The 7 of Wands, I think, is a person who trusts themselves with a valor here. They trust themselves to get it done, whether it's out of fear or out of actual competence. But they trust themselves to get it done. And so you want to move to a place of competence where you trust yourself out of competence to do what needs to be done. Okay? This also could mean like when you're connecting with other people that you make sure that you ask them the right questions. To make sure that you guys are actually like on the same wavelength. All right, we're going to get some of these money and the law of attraction cards here. Sorry guys, my cold is like kind of getting to me right now. I'm trying to let it go. Okay, Spirit, pile 3. What skill do they need that will make them more successful as they go on their level up journey? All right, we got here oh wow. Shortages of time or money are perceptual. We talked about time, needing to take your time, right? That's another thing is detectives do not make accusations about people unless they have the whole truth. So like, thinking about like cold cases, like a detective is not going to gather some evidence and then even if the story doesn't make sense, they're just going to go around like accusing people. I mean, sometimes they do that, but it's obviously not good detective work, right? So if there's a cold case, it's because they haven't been able to find enough evidence in order to point the finger at somebody or in order to come to any solid conclusions where they can make a case, right? So sometimes things need time, and some cold cases, like they do end up being solved years later, right? So shortage of time or money are perceptual. That's your perception. If you feel like, oh, let me rush into something with somebody because we don't have time for it, whether it is, a friendship or a relationship, like that's not true. You have time. You have the right to take your time. And if somebody else is trying to rush you, you need to question their motives, okay? You need to start questioning people's motives, for sure. And maybe that's something that you work on if you're in journaling or you're in therapy or whatever. And for some people, some of you guys might have trust issues, and you need to work on that too. But one of the best ways to, in my opinion, to get past that is, like I said, to like do your background checks, to ask questions, to, identify your own values and make sure that the other person is aligned with those, right? And if you don't know what your values are because you didn't have like a strong background during your childhood where values were really put on the table and things like that, then that's where the reparenting comes in, where you need to figure out what it is that you do value. If you are feeling a shortage of time or money, your best effort would be to focus upon better feeling thoughts and do more things that make you feel good. Your time is a perpetual thing. Even though the clock is ticking, the same for everyone, your alignment affects your perception as well as the results that you allow. As you observe the enormous differences in the effort that people apply and the results they achieve, you have to conclude that there is more to the equation of achieving than action alone. So I was talking about that when I said like things take time. Like if you are trying to lose weight or you're trying to build a relationship or whatever, you have to give it the time that it needs. It's not, or like you're cramming for a test or whatever. You have to give things the time that they need in order for you to be successful at them. Time is a major factor. There's a reason why they say things like time heals all wounds and stuff like that. And jumping to conclusions is not going to be good for you or for anybody, which I think is why detective is here, because detectives don't jump to conclusions. They have to find out all the information first before they make a conclusion. And I think that that's what you need to do, is give yourself time to conduct your investigations, both into yourself and into the other people around you. But primarily into yourself, especially here with inner conversations here. Like, I love my inner child. I'm worthy of love. There's a lot of investigating into yourself that you need to do, especially when it comes to your values. And also, like, why is it that you want to rush everything? We talked about you pushing people away, you rushing into these relationships and then them not working out. And now, or in the future, you'll be sitting there waiting for somebody to come to you because you have your like little bouquet of the things that you value and that you offer ready to go. And you're not going to be out here like trying to rush into them. You're cultivating your own happiness and your own support, your own independence, your own peace of mind and space. Okay? You have to give things time, and also you have to maintain hope. Maintain hope that it's possible for you. And some of you guys might need to start off as friends. Okay? There's this one lady on TikTok. She's a Canadian dating coach. I think her name is like Heidi Chantel or Chantel Heidi. I don't remember. But she has this philosophy that you should not even kiss a new person for 3 months. Like, you meet them, and then 3 months later, if you guys are still actively dating and talking to each other and, spending time together, like real in-person time together, then you can start being more physical with them. You can kiss them. And the reasoning is that, kissing creates chemical bonds of attachment within human beings. And if you are being really physical with somebody early on, especially if you have attachment issues that stem from, your parenting when you were younger, then it can kind of give you a false sense of knowing somebody and a false sense of security. And also, I guess the reason why she says 3 months is because that is like typically the longest amount of time that somebody can kind of keep up an act or a charade. And so if you give people time, I'm not saying that you need to, follow that. Steve Harvey does also suggest 90 days as well, which works out to 3 months. I find that number to be interesting. I don't really have an opinion on it one way or the other, but the whole point is giving people time to like show their true colors before you invest too much of yourself in them, and spending more time investing in yourself, investing in your inner child, investing in the way you speak to yourself, investing in how you feel about yourself and what it is, like I said, that you value in both yourself and other people, rather than just like rushing into things, especially if you tend to be the more emotional person in this equation, and you find yourself feeling or being used more often than not. All right, let's move on to these last little cards here. We've got these healing angel cards. Let's see what they have to say. Spirit, for pile 3, what is the message for pile 3, who chose the Sun and Moon Tarot for this question? What skills will make them more successful and level up? Pile 3. Let's see. All right. Archangel Raphael. Feel yourself surrounded by my emerald green light. I, Archangel Raphael, offer you healing and solace. The storm clouds will soon clear and the sun will shine eternally bright. Trust. So yeah, I mentioned potential trust issues. So working on that is going to be important, and also knowing that your guides, angels, and benevolent ancestors have your back. Healing is going to be important for you. Healing your relationships with trust and how you exercise trust in your relationships. Do you give trust away too soon? Do people have to earn your trust? If they do, what does that look like, right? Ooh, that's a lot of cards. I think I'm only going to take the top 2. We got clarity here. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe in the blue of the sky. Feel a gentle breeze flow through you. There's peace. There's clarity. A magical healing has just taken place, a gift from your guardian angel. So yeah, your guides, angels, and benevolent ancestors really want you to know that like they're really looking out for you during this time. And if you don't feel like you can trust anybody else, you can trust them. Creative potential. You are by nature infinitely creative. Life is a sea of creative potential just waiting to be expressed through you. You are free to express all your heart's desires. So that's a message from them here with regards to the Star and also the Princess of Pentacles in reverse. You may feel like you're not free to express your heart's desires, or like, especially in romantic relationships, if you have to like play the game, keep it cool, whatever. But if you know what you want, you should be able to say that, and the right person is going to appreciate it and the wrong person will not appreciate it. Okay? If you want to make something or do something with your life, you should be able to do that. And if you don't have hope about being able to do that, then just know that you're supported, okay? Maybe like when you were a child, and this may not resonate for everybody, but maybe when you were a child, like you had certain things you wanted to do and you were not able to do them. Like if you wanted to learn how to dance, for example, we talked about dancing and like ballet and stuff. And maybe you couldn't do it because your parents didn't have the time or didn't have the money or just, you know, weren't interested in helping you to learn how to do that. Like, you need to reparent yourself and allow yourself to explore those types of things and explore your potential in those areas. We also just got love. The heart of love is the heart of creation. There we go with creation again. All is possible through love. All is worthwhile for love. May all you think and feel reflect love's eternal truth. Yeah. So self-love is the best love. That's important here. But loving on your inner child and rethinking like your idea of what love is, what love looks like to you, and what makes you feel safe in a loving relationship or friendship. Okay? And that doesn't mean necessarily like the type of love you see in the movies. This is like a real practical love. Okay? A love that doesn't make you feel defensive or feel like you can't trust people. All right. I put all those cards back because it was like too many, but now there's like at least one that really wants to come out. So let's see what it was. Let's see what it was. Truth. There we go. Detective. We have truth again because it says here, desire to seek out the truth. The best way through the current situation is just to speak your truth. Contrary to what you may think, no one will be hurt if you express exactly how you feel. And I just said that. The people who get it, get it. The people who don't, don't. And you can't change that, you know? You need to be honest about what it is that you want, and that can encourage the other person to be honest about what it is that they want. And you observe, and you see if their, you know, actions match their words. All right, pile 3, I'm going to go ahead and leave the reading here. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me. Thank you for watching. I hope that this resonated with you. If so, feel free to leave me a comment down below, and I would love it if you would smash the like button and hit subscribe so that we can be more connected. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.